Recall last month we told you about a pregnant woman who fell into the Detroit River and was saved by Detroit police officers and a paramedic. Great story of courage and compassion. And as Nick Monticelli reports today, we finally get to hear that story from the woman herself. Nick?
Well, you may have heard the story of a pregnant woman falling into the Detroit River and two police officers and a paramedic jumping in to save her. It's another story to hear it from the woman herself.
It was a night to not want to remember.
Sitting around a conference table with the people who saved her life, Ethel Woodger says she has a new appreciation for the men and women who risked their lives for ours.
And they are risking their lives just for mine and my child's. It was amazing. It was a blessing.
On April 17th, a pregnant Ethel Woodger was walking along the Detroit River in Riverside Park. She fell into the freezing waters and could not get out. A bystander threw her a coat to hang onto and tried pulling her out with a tree branch. It was no use. Fortunately, officers Brian Gadwell and Stephen Rouser were there in minutes.
She started to slip. We were trying to rip my gear off. I got like the heavy stuff off. When she started going under, at that point I had to jump in, and it was cold.
The freezing water and the rough current was too much, even for him. After struggling to keep Ethel above water, he too began to lose strength.
That's when I looked at my partner. I was like, man, I'm going in. I can't hang on no more. And, he jumped in and saved me.
Paramedic Chris Ward jumped in as well, and a boating crew from the JWS got pulled up just in time.
The fire department tied a lifeline around me. I jumped in the water and was able to get her head and her arm through the life preserver, and they were able to pull us both over to the boat.
Ethel had an emergency C-section that night and now has a beautiful, healthy baby boy. She says he and her other two children were all she could think of.
I had two other children besides the one I gave birth to, and I knew I couldn't leave them kids with no mother.
In Detroit, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.